Hello, hello, hello. Is everything set? Hopefully. Hello everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by today and for being patient and waiting. Today we're doing something that I don't usually do, or that I do usually do on my own time. I don't necessarily do this on stream. Today we're going to be studying how to draw digitally, or just like a digital art study in general of what I've been learning lately, and we're just gonna do like a little summary in general. And if you guys are interested, you can like sketch along or, you know, kind of draw along while watching the stream. But yeah, if you don't mind, today we're just gonna go on a journey of art studies. That is what we are going to be doing today. I don't know. So I worked on these sketches. I can show you guys in a second. But I've been working on these sketches of like architecture, or like basically trying to draw backgrounds and how to draw like shapes in a 3D form, and probably more like complex shapes. So yeah, we're gonna get right started. I don't necessarily know like where to start, but I think what I like to start off with is usually small sketches, and then like kind of practicing like rendering. So one of my favorite things to sketch out is limbs, I'd say. Or probably we can render a hand or an arm. So where I got to learn and kind of practice anatomy is when I went to a fashion design class. The design class was, of course, fashion design, where you have to understand the fabric and whatnot, but they also told you how to draw models. And, you know, I used some of those techniques from that class into drawing. And the technique was basically drawing more confident lines and also kind of connecting to the proportions together, or like drawing like more simple shapes before going into detail. And also hello everyone. But yeah, then again, today is Saturday, so if you guys know what is up, Saturday and Sundays we do live streams. And you know, stay tuned. I think I'm going to usually stream around this hour for most of the time, or like just forever. For a very long time. I think I'm going to be planning on to stream around this time. So if you guys want to turn on the notification bell and also subscribe so you don't miss these live streams, I'd really appreciate it. And it not only supports my channel, but also basically can let you stay tuned of what's going on. I don't usually post much videos, but I do post shorts, and if you guys saw my recent short, it's also a digital art piece. And like, I think the title is pretty cool. It's like not necessarily like pretty cool, but the concept is really cool, and I think you guys can try it out. It's basically where you listen to a music and you draw out what the music makes you think of, or like the vibe of the music makes you think of. It can be like an action, a character in action, or like a character in a sob story, or anything like that. And I think music is like a really big influence on artists. Well, I think most general artists. Hello everybody, welcome in. But yeah, I like to practice limbs. Also, I like to use a soft eraser as well, like a soft edge eraser on the tablet. It's like really satisfying, I'd say. I like also thick brushes, perhaps like soft brushes as well, not too, you know, thick. Pigmented colored is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, today we're gonna do like a practice. I can tell you guys like how I kind of form things into bigger things, and things that I actually want to start practicing, because as an artist, I think we don't stop evolving. We don't stop growing. There's always something else that we can learn. If you're really already like really good at the concept of character design, or a human body design, then try architecture or something like that, or try more interesting character designs. So proportions are really interesting to me because lately I've been trying to learn character design. I realize character design doesn't necessarily mean having the proportions to look just, redefined, like refined to a normal proportion. A character design can be the proportions balancing out its personality, if that makes sense. So I think I want to practice that today as well, and then we can get to the rendering part. What are you drawing? Right now I'm just drawing a figure. It doesn't necessarily have to be like any figure. I'm just drawing a figure practice in a way. This is how I draw usually. If I find the limb to be looking good, I just like kind of piece another body with it. It's kind of just like a practice. And this goes downwards. Okay. Go. Yeah. The technique to drawing anatomy, I'd say, is to practice confident, like making your line art more confident and kind of just practicing. I like to always start off with a spine usually, or an arm. And I think going into that fashion design class was really helpful because the teacher made us draw over and over and over again. And the teacher was really direct with the proportions. Like the teacher would instantly know, oh, this is like too high, the shoulders are too high, or like the arm line is not proportionate. And after I knew like how to draw the real proportions, it was really fun and easy for me to experiment with more drastic proportions where the hands are a little bit bigger, or like the arms a bit like bigger and stuff like that. So it was really helpful to me, I'd say. I really do like classes like that because it really tells you to like practice drawing without I feel more motivated because it's like a have to do thing, or I can't get my certificate. So I do like to join classes once in a while. I'd say that class was a pretty nice experience. It really forces me, not really forces me, but it motivates me. It makes me dedicated to practicing drawing, at least in that period of like drawing class anyway. But yeah. But also getting the anatomy book is quite useful. Very much very useful. So this is a technique that I learned for drawing hands, especially if you're trying to draw it like with the whole body, and for you to kind of get over the fear of avoiding drawing hands. Get over the fear of drawing hands in general, is that you want to symbolize it first. You don't have to go into details first. You can just symbolize it first. So I have a joint. I always like to draw a joint first. You just kind of know where things are about to go. And then after that, I like to draw the thumb kind of joint, and then the small thumb. And then I like to draw the inner kind of index finger. This is an index finger, yeah. I just don't want to make things more confusing. And then I draw the other joint. It isn't as bumpy as the joint here, but that's where I kind of learn how to draw more like better hands, I'd say. And then kind of go across over here, depending on what like form you want your hand to look like. Have like a tiny bump over here, and then do that. And I kind of want to imagine the hand like this, kind of looks like that. And I like to use the Barbie hand method. It's basically where your middle finger and your ring finger are connected together. That's kind of how I practiced drawing hands pretty well. And then draw the thumb like so. Then the pinky finger. Disney proportion. I like to balance. I like to make, you know, the like the thighs like a little bit bigger because the like top body is already really thin, and I kind of like to practice figures where they kind of balance out a little bit. Or perhaps not balance out, but I like things to not look all so symmetrical, I guess. I like some things a bit bigger. That's just my art style though. I find that I find drawing that a lot. Like I find myself drawing proportions like that a lot. I don't know why. I find the joint here just like a tad bit odd. Go. So the index finger should not be longer than the middle finger. And I'm just kind of going into detail here. Alright, and then we can erase the things that we do not want. But yeah, I think I have a lot less fear of drawing hands. I used to be really afraid, and I used to always hide the arm behind the back or something like that, and avoiding to draw hands. And I still think hands is quite hard. Yeah, that finger looks like a little bit odd. Let's do this again. But I definitely have like less fear over it, I'd say. That looks a bit better. But yeah, I like to draw limbs. For starters, of like practicing art. Okay. But yeah, lately I've been trying to understand how to draw architectural buildings. It's like not easy to draw those. Those are super problematic for me. I don't know how to explain it. Like, thinking about it kind of just gives me a headache a little bit. But you know, I think we all should start somewhere. So if you guys want to see, I've been working on the sketches over here on my sketchbook, and basically they're kind of like a starter for me. Like, I have a book just for this, just for practicing this, and I thought I did pretty well. I thought I did pretty okay, but you know, I think there's much more to practice, prepare. I did enjoy it though. I kind of lost track of time, hence why I'm kind of late to the stream. Sorry. Yeah, hence why I'm kind of late to the stream. But here I am. Okay. So now we're gonna start rendering stuff, or like practice rendering in general. I like to do a sketch and then get right into the rendering process, because I just find it really fun. I just find it that's so much better. But matter of fact, that actually takes a much longer time for me to render, because I didn't know the techniques of, you know, shading and kind of getting the light and shade like on the page before, you know, going into detailed rendering. So I'm gonna render for you guys with like textures that I kind of learned to render pretty well, I'd say. But if it's not on stream, I'm so sorry. But there is this recent project that I've been working on that is, I think I rendered it pretty good. I think I rendered it pretty well. It had like textured like metal or gold on there. I thought it rendered pretty well. Rendered it pretty well. Okay. Then afterwards, I'm going to go with like yellow. So what I'm trying to render here is like a gold texture. It's like kind of like a gold sharp chain thingy. There we go. Then I'm gonna blend it. Not too much though. I'm still gonna leave some sharp edges because that's the whole point of having the light, is to kind of just be having sharp edges on it. Then afterwards, kind of darken this here, under layer. Darken this. I think as artists, we kind of sometimes complicate things, and we kind of try to become printers and just try to get every single detail. And I think, you know, sometimes we have to give ourselves a break and kind of, instead of going off every single small detail and being a perfectionist. Should have fun and explore different types of art styles, and not everything has to necessarily be just, you know, perfect. Okay, and then now we're gonna do lighting, which sometimes I like to do like a soft glow effect, or like a glow effect in general. That does look a little bit off. I'm just gonna go with white over here. Do that. Okay. Kind of erase it a little bit over here. Side. Also, then again, this is like a soft brush eraser. Like, not a soft brush eraser, just like a soft eraser in general. And then kind of blend some things together. Blend it in a little bit. There we go. Voila. That kind of does look like gold. Kind of. There we go. Much better. There we go. Yeah, voila. So let me explain the layers. So first we have the base layer, is where it's more on the darker side. We don't have any specific rendering yet. And then what I like to do next is to have the light on it, which is having like a much lighter color, so there's like a big contrast between them. So depending on where the light is, where the like reflection would be, or like where the light would be pointing at basically, then I start to draw the light on it, and then I go under layer to give it some contrast, which is basically selecting a more saturated color, but like just a tad lighter than the darker color, and of course more saturated. And then I go shading and kind of turning it more darker, like much darker than the base color, to give it more contrast, even more contrast. And then I do the lighting all together, like so. And then we have something that looks kind of like gold. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I mastered this technique. There's still definitely some things I can work on. But yeah, there we go. Just gonna put this piece right there. Hello. I think I want to refine the shape a little bit more because like it's a bit odd. Looks like a bullet in a way. Looks like a bullet. Okay. And then now I like to practice face expressions, or like character design. Let's do that. Let's like practice character design. So I'm going to focus on the bigger shapes that I want the character to look. You know, more round, or for them to look more round or more angry. I guess like more angry looking, or like more bulk. Not necessarily mean, like bulk doesn't necessarily mean angry, but the character I'm trying to make. I want their personality to look like pretty angry. Kind of have giant ears. And then for the hair, we can deal with that a little bit later. Okay, let's draw body form. Make them a tad bit tinier. And then give them humongous arms. Kind of have like elbows over here. The arms look a little bit odd. Let's try it like this. Okay. But yeah, I really like to see other people's characters and stuff. Those are really cool. And I've just been trying to learn character design like this way because I just find it's a really good hobby that I want to learn. And I think it's going to be really important, especially in the future if I want to try like to find like a character designing job or something along those lines. Okay. And then after that, perhaps like make them kind of stand or like squatting down. Give them humongous pants. So, humongous pants. There we go. Kind of make their pants like droop down a little bit on the ground so we can avoid drawing feet. Alright, we might still draw shoes. Okay, we're gonna still draw shoes. Hey. But as you can see, I'm not really overthinking my brush strokes here. I'm just literally kind of like doodling in a way. I'm not having anything, like having any calculations, kind of like using my 3 brain cells to kind of create today. Okay. And then we can like kind of redesign this person's like shirt a little bit as they're leaning forward. There we go. And then give them like super big, you know, one of those people, like, I don't know if you guys do this when you were younger, but I just think it's like really cool to like have your collar kind of like lifted up. And I thought those were like super cool, so I'm gonna do that for this person. But Loki kind of looks like a vampire when it's like overly tall, but you know, they're not a vampire. If they are, they're really hip for a vampire. Okay, here we go. But yeah, I think character design is really fun. I don't think I ever really got the time to practice it, but I would say I watched like a lot of videos and tutorials of how to kind of like character design and kind of like sketching out what the character design would like look like and like how they do it basically. Go. Okay, I plan on giving them like I plan on giving them like really big hair. I see the vampire now that you said I think the most cringiest like vampire kind of story is Twilight. Twilight was so cringy. One moment. Okay, I'm back to it. I don't know. Alright. Sorry, someone was talking to me. But okay. So I want their face to look more rounded. I kind of want to give them pigtails, I'm not gonna lie. I'm really... This is gonna be looking like Miku. That's kind of cute, I guess. Let's try that. Voila. No, she's not pooping. So, hello. You know, yeah, basically squatting. She's not pooping. Her face is relaxed. Guys, this isn't a pooping vampire, I swear. Okay. And then we're gonna give her like a big mouth. Or just like a really big face. Big smiley face. Like a cute kind of like kitty face. Is that good? Or should we give like a small mouth? Let's see. Let's like do it like a little test. See which one's better. Okay. That's kind of cute too, on the mouth on the side. It's really cute. Okay, what if like this? That looks like her nose. Okay, what about like this? I don't like it. It's too cartoony for me. Oh, I got a perfect idea. Oh yeah. Okay, never mind. Now that she actually does look like a vampire. Oh gosh. Okay, vampire it is. Really hip. Miku vampire. She's not Miku, by the way. Definitely not. I just really like long pigtails, and I get it. It's because Miku has like really characteristic hair, and it's just her characteristic. Gosh, oh my gosh, it's so hard to speak. Characteristic look. All right. Then let's kind of draw it out. Do we like more thicker lines or thinner lines? Let's see. Yeah, I think so. It does look like a vampire. So I'm just gonna say it's a vampire. Because I'm practicing character design. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what I'm necessarily designing, but I understand, like, I want the proportions to look quite big. You know, quite, you know, cartoony, or just character design. You know, just having its own characteristic look is what I'm trying to say. No, but she's really cute. Thank you. I'm gonna give her long lower lashes because I think that's gonna be a really good idea. Hoya, hoya, hoya. Okay, and then we're gonna do the other side. So this brush is really pigmented, as you can see. But I still like to use soft brushes once in a while. But if you drew the classic looking vampire, I think I can do that in my own style, or like probably in a doodle way in a second. But for now, I'm gonna like focus on like practicing this before jumping into other like little projects later. But yeah, could definitely start doodling like afterwards. Okay, should we give her like puffy cheeks like this? So it just kind of looks like a hamster. She's been hungry for blood. It's tomato juice, it's not blood. Alright. Let's see over here. Voila. Okay. Kind of go below the brows. Voila. Okay, and then we're gonna get the ears. And then we're gonna give her earrings, of course, because she's a really hip vampire. Oh my gosh. What do you guys think about this look on her face? She has no nose, so don't ask me where did her nose go. She has no nose. You give her like earrings over here, little earring over here, and like a huge earring dropping down below. And over here on the 2 for the symmetrical look. There we go. Yep. All right. Thank you so much for stopping by. That's totally fine. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. All right. Let's go. I don't know. This character makes me kind of have an impression of like energetic kind of look to it. I really like her eyebrows. I really like eyebrows like this in general. I really like thick eyebrows like this in general because they just look really cute. And it makes the character look like they're full of energy, which I really enjoy. A good energetic character. If you guys have not know this anime, also anime is not a cartoon, by the way. If you guys don't know this anime, it is called Pop Team Epic. It is super good. I really like Pop Team Epic. It's like super like idiotic and dumb. And welcome in. Real vampires know what is the best blood type. If I was a vampire, I'd probably want to like kill the producers that made Twilight. But yeah. My fellow moderator is in the chat. Everyone say thank you, moderator, because you know, sometimes I'd meet some pretty weird people across like the internet sometimes while live streaming, so everybody say thank you, moderator. Why is the pen like black? I thought it was blue. W moderator, for real. Alright, let's see this. Okay. But yeah, I like to draw simplistic wrinkles on the shirts as well, because for one, I think characters like this, especially if you want to make it like a series and you have to draw it over and over again, there is no way my detailed art style is able to keep that up every single frame. I will lose my little sanity that is left in my head. Okay, there you go. We got thick arms. What should we name this? If this was a name, like this character had a name, what would the name be? What if their name was like Vampa? Vampa. Or something like that. Vampa. Or Voompa. Or something like that. I don't know. It's just the first thing I think of. I'm not good at naming things. At all. Like, I'm really bad at naming things. It's either really basic or it's literal. It's literally the thing that reminds me of that thing, like a vampire, you know? So I'm just like throwing it out there. I don't give super original names. It's definitely not top tier. I feel really bad, but then again, I think changing my first hamster's, like not my first, but like my hamster's name into a more formal name was better than naming it Milk Tea, because I think Milk Tea is pretty mid. That name is pretty mid. But my hamster is in heaven now, so rest in peace. Me, how do you even say that? Miki, bro, I'm not even gonna try. I'm not even gonna try. I don't know how to say that. Yes, we have to thank the moderator. We have to thank the moderator. Thank the moderator. Did I say thank? Majestic presence. Mitchell. You know what? I say names, especially like really confusing names, without me understanding or like listening to it being pronounced, just gives me a crash out, and I cannot have the mental capacity to deal with that right now. Because that name just reminds me of Machila. Okay, it's called Machela. It's not a bad name. Michaela. Oh. Now I just look dumb. Okay, anyway. Alright. I like Vampa. Cause does she look like a Michaela? She looks like a... She looks like... She looks like she has 2 brain cells. I'm struggling. Alright. Go. She does. Yeah. Thank you. If she says she wants to, you know, kind of have like a hit list, you're definitely going to be on one. So, I think I'm going to be the first one because I made her kind of have 2 brain cells, so she's going to definitely kill me first. Okay. There we go. She has like really cool sneakers on. Oh yeah. I don't know, I don't usually like line art, but when it comes to like doodling and drawing very easily, or like just like somewhat doodling sketches type of art, it's quite relaxing. It's like not too bad after all. Okay, I'm having problems with zooming in and zooming out. Like my tablet just says you don't exist, and you know, you zooming out, it's just, you're not gonna do that right now. So kind of struggling right now. Okay, there we go. There we go. We have finished the sketch and also the line art. All right, voila. Just gonna put it on the side. Actually, we haven't finished it. I'm just rushing things. Okay. I was about to say rushing things. This 2 brain cell energy is kind of having an impact on me. There we go. Voila. What's the sketch next to her? So this is a anatomy sketch. Basically, I was practicing this before I started sketching Vampa, if you'd say. And then I rendered something to look like gold. And yeah, I like to usually start off with limbs, especially when like practicing sketching and stuff. I like to sketch limbs and whatnot. So today we're going to be practice a series of different things. This included with like architecture stuff as well, which is very recent, is what I started to practice for the stream today. I thought I did pretty well on paper, but hopefully we can do well also on stream. So Yeah. Yeah. Yep. All right. We're just gonna put her over here. She's kind of huge. Okay. You know what? We can put her like this big. Actually, but I want to show it like fully on stream because like some people would come in here and they're like, well, I don't know what you're doing, bro. What have you been doing? And then I kind of just want to showcase her. All right. So now we're going to try out architecture stuff. So what is architecture? What the heck is architecture? Sometimes, you know, I think a lot of people say the builders and the architectures, like designers, are enemies because sometimes something just cannot work. Some things defy gravity and hence cannot be made into a physical object. And so I get that a lot. So let's definitely create something that is like defying gravity. I was gonna say defy object, which is like really weird. Defy gravity. Something that defies gravity. Okay. Anyway. I'm gonna start off with like basic shapes here to shape out some things. And also then again, like putting your characters in these places is also hard in a way. It's like a little bit challenging because you kind of want to match the proportions of these things, especially in each scenery as the camera kind of moves around, which is quite challenging. So I really want to master that as well. The book told me that when you're drawing, you don't want to look at your pen tip. You want to look at your point A to basically like point B, which would be somewhere around here, and then look at point B while you're drawing across. Like so. And don't do this while drawing across. Just be like one confident line instead of 100 strokes at a time for one line. Okay. But yeah, that's what the book taught me. I thought it was somewhat challenging in a way, but not too challenging once you put your mind to it. I think while I was like sketching, I really like to sketch like this. Hence why it was a little bit challenging, but on the tablet it was surprisingly smooth. So I think it's because of the way that I was drawing on the paper. Here we go. Also, I'm not using a ruler or anything right now, even though it would help immensely. But I really want to, you know, work out my kind of vision skills. How do you say it? Vision skills? Vision, like, I don't know how to say this. It just basically training my eyes is what I'm trying to say. Like training my eyes to cooperate with my hands, to cooperate with the image in my head. My barbershop haircut that cost a quarter guy was drawn. I don't know who that guy is. I don't know who that guy is. I don't know who that guy is. I don't think I've been on the internet for a lot of amounts of time. But yeah. Sadly. Okay. After that's done. Also, if you guys are wondering where the moderator is still there. They are still watching very closely at each movement. So, don't think that you're safe. Okay, also, one moment. I have to get something. Hello. I'm back. Again. Once more. Alright. Let's get back to it. So, what are we trying to do here? What we're trying to do here is basically kind of setting a camera on a certain angle, and then we're going to make these shapes into more complex shapes, aka architecture designing. But yeah, hello. Okay, so we're gonna just like kind of do a shape that supports this angle in general, kind of do a little of that. Imagine if all of these were on the same layer. I would really be upset if that happened. I don't know, sometimes digital art, especially when starting to sketch and then I start rendering, pretty well for quite a while, and then realizing it's on the same layer, it's a universal crash out moment. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. And also, something worth crashing out over is the fact that you sit on a chair for over 6 to 8 hours a day. Ow. Wow. That is painful. But yeah, I think moving on out of the chair is a healthy little thing to do, considered that it's little. Alright, now we're gonna have like a really tall object here, facing the same way, around this side, over here. Why did you start drawing cubes? You can rewind the video. You can rewind the video, bro. I do not want to explain it again. You can rewind the video and watch it from there. Just like rewind like a few minutes, few seconds. It's not that long. Just rewind it. Because I literally just explained it. But, you know. Okay. Over here. It's more. Alright. These look good enough. Kind of looks like it's like going upwards in a way. Do this. Okay. There we go. Alright, and then we're kind of gonna draw the kind of outline where things are headed, like facing, I'd say, kind of like a road, like so. And then we're gonna make this a tad bit smaller, and then we can start sketching more complex architecture. Yeah, there you go. Yep. That's the exact reason, for perspective purposes. Okay, what do we want to make? Okay, I'm gonna make, okay, wow. Ouch. I think this chair is about to kill me. Okay. Make odd shapes over here, kind of like make it like an angle. Should like these be cars or something? I think I want them to be buildings. Now, I'm not the expert of architecture, but no one said that I cannot experiment. looks like Dodge the Teapots from... Is that like the VR game? Where you have to slice the cubes on beat or something like that? Because I think I've seen one of those before. And I think I did play one of them before. Like, one was like in the apartment building. It's not an apartment building, it's like a arcade thingy. And I thought that was pretty cool. Great. Let's create like really interesting architectural looks here. Oh, it's not the Slice the Cubes one. I deleted Roblox. Roblox was actually pretty good. Given games where, you know, they have like games kind of like museums where they kind of have like these liminal spaces, lobbies, and I really like those. A metaverse game. I don't think I'll ever see that game, since if it's on Roblox especially. Because I deleted Roblox. Or I probably did see it before, but I'm not sure. I am starting to think digitally I am not so good. So a lot of the times when I'm drawing digitally, I don't usually draw the best, so that's why I really like to draw traditionally and then trace my art on the tablet digitally. It's kind of like a cheat code, not gonna lie, and I really enjoy doing that a lot, so I think I should do this with the architecture drawings as well. So yeah, I deleted Roblox. Roblox was a hit or miss for me most of the time. Their games were sometimes so brain cell consuming because it's just so brain rotted to the point you question life and ask, what the heck are you doing right now with this game? So kind of gives that kind of vibe, but you know, you are walking in an obstacle course running past the blocking pillars while a floating vampire girl watches you. And she's just floating in the air. Low-key, that could be a pretty good game, you know? What if like she tries to like cover your eyesight while you're running these pillars, and that means like you have to memorize like these pillars by instinct, I guess. That could be like a pretty good game concept, I'd say. I'm starting to give up on this practice here, because I think I already practiced this a lot on paper, but digitally for some reason I'm just not doing it really well, and I don't know if I like that. Okay, you know what, we're just gonna make it easy on ourselves and basically draw wheels to make them cars. So we're gonna be making it much easier on myself. Okay. If the wheels look like a little bit odd. Okay, I know what to do. There we go. All right. Hello. That is totally fine. Okay, yeah, I think we're doing pretty well. This car looks like a circus car with the, like, you know, lines given. Cool, your viewer's back. Yeah. Everyone kind of stops by every now and then. I recognize some of them. But like if y'all like suddenly change profile picture or like stop tuning in, you know, I don't blame me because I really cannot remember so many people at once. Here we go. Over here. Okay, and then let's give like a little party hat on top, because why not? Thank you. Yeah, I named it myself. Named her myself. Vampa. Vampa is super cute. I really like the name Vampa because she does look like a vampire, so that's like the only thing I think about. I usually say whoever was previously known as the person example. I get it. Hi, it's me. Just changed user and profile. I get that, but like even then, especially if people don't keep tuning in after a while, I still would forget because I'm like really talking to everyone in the chat. I'm literally like talking to everyone, and you know, I would try to, like, it's easier for me to remember if they keep tuning in. But Vampa better. Yeah. Yeah. Giving names suggestions like Michaela. There we go. Alright. Also, I don't think I responded to the moderator's message. I was just really overjoyed by the moderator being there. The moderator said it reminds them of something. What does it remind you of? Voila. Voila. And then we're gonna put wheels on this shape as well. I'm gonna put like huge wheels on this vehicle. There we go. Yeah. Can we like put like huge wheels? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think the pigtails. Yeah. Y'all, it's not Miko. It's not Miko. No, I want to be original. I'm joking. I'm joking. I really enjoy Miku. But yeah, I think the thing is, anything with like long pigtails just instantly reminds me and like most people of like Miku, because come on, Miku is iconic for pigtails, like really long pigtails. So, you know, it's just instantly goes to that. Literally, your subconscious and your conscious just, that's Miku. Nope, that's Miku. Come on, you don't tell me it's not Miku. Vampku. I'm not gonna call her Vampku, because that sounds also kind of cute, but I think Vampa. I like Vampa. I think they already have a vampire Miku, but I'm not sure if they were called Vampku though. Alright, let me try to draw these wheels. Vamku is so cute. Exactly. Vamku is so cute. But I personally like Vampa more. Alright, there we go. Voila, we got some vehicles. I mean, not vehicles. We got some wheels on this vehicle. Ho ho. I think while I was like in school, there was kind of like a science project, and it was basically for a car to move, or like making a cardboard like little vehicle or something, and it has to have wheels and it has to move, and it's like the higher, you know, how do I say it, for it to move with some sort of force, especially like a rubber band or like wind or something like that, it will have more points. But I couldn't make that, but we did make like a really cool vehicle out of it, and still did be able to like move around like a car, which was super cute. Vampire. Yeah, what if it was a series? You know, creating characters is just really cool. You know, you have like a whole storyline, and you have a whole story, like family members, and it's just really fun. Talking about storylines, if you guys haven't checked out my manga on Webtoons, or comic as you would say, you should definitely go check it out. It's in the link down in the description down below. It's called Yuki's Endless Void. It's called Yuki's Endless Void, if I spoke too fast. And it is a psychological horror manga / comic that I've been working on since 2021. Hence, the art style might be different from the first episode, and you might be thinking, okay, did I just get scammed? Because I saw this artist literally live streaming pretty decent art, and I don't know what the heck this is. That is because I was quite young when I started the manga / comic, so pardon the interesting art style that it isn't truly fully developed yet, but you know, you might enjoy the storyline, and it is still coming out. I recently just continued it, and I do draw some of these pages on stream, and it will be continued, and it is continuing. So if you guys want to support that, I'd really appreciate it, because those take literally forever to draw, so I'd really appreciate it if you go check that out, because everything that I'm learning and sketching here is somewhat like mostly involved in the comic / manga, so definitely go check it out. Who would win? Classic looking vampire make in Spanish accent gothic from those classic movies, or cute Miku looking vampire? I do that impression, but I think I'm gonna die. I don't even know what it's a Spanish accent. Can I do a Spanish accent? I don't know. I can do like a Australian accent, but I can't do something like that. I'll just like do like a British accent or something. Classic looking vampire make, and or cute make you looking vampire. Yeah, no. I don't know why I did that. I take it back. Okay, and then we're gonna make this long vehicle here. Oh yeah. What does this long vehicle have inside it that just makes it have to drive like this? I do not know. Alright. Okay. Yeah, this chair is definitely gonna kill me. When you're sitting in the chair for way too long, and then your literal muscles start to collapse because it's just been in one place for too long, and like you feel like the how'd you say it? How did you say it? How do you say that? I suddenly cannot think. Like the veins, the stem system. I forgot what to say. I forgot how to say it. But yeah. Have to move around once in a while. Go. That doesn't look half bad, but it doesn't look the best either. Looks a little bit cranky. But it looks like cartoony. It looks like something could be in like a kid's show or something. It's pretty cute. Alright, let's remove the blocks. Hey, that doesn't look half bad. If it was like more detailed and stuff, you know, I can see this pulling off. Doesn't look half bad. Dodge the traffic featuring mysterious floating vampire girl. What if the vampire girl was like sitting on one of these things? Let's do this. Oh, that's golden. Look at that. That's golden. Even her hair is like flowing in a way. Oh my gosh. Subconsciously, I have planned all of this. Ha ha ha. Okay, actually I want like a copy of like this sized Miku, and then we can like dodge this one, and then we can like make this one like more scaled down, like kind of standing on here, and voila, mwahaha. And then after that we're going to erase the background, which is, we're just gonna like put the opacity down so I know where to erase. Then do so. Erase all over here, and then around here. Alright, and then back to the opacity. Oh, and also back here. There we go. That doesn't look half bad. So what I like to do now is to make it kind of more three-dimensional, or probably, like, you know, just playing around with kind of making like 2D, 3D in a way, I guess. Kind of like that. Voila. Something along those lines. She looks really blurry though, I'm not gonna lie. What if Vampa was a billboard? Yeah, I think that would be pretty cool as well, but I was testing things out as well. There's just endless possibilities. Endless of possibilities. Kind of like that, and then the billboard would be like shaped that way. It'd be really cool. Okay, let me have like the original copy. And then this, this. That's done. Just gonna start doing this. Voila. Voila. There we go. Hello. Alright, let me just do like a little person here, because I like to do like little detailed sketches, or like not detailed sketches, but like little doodles. January 2026. Long time no see. Hey, I can't recognize you. I don't recognize you. But yeah, there we go. Alright. Voila. Vampa staring at a Vampa poster while being on some cars. You forgot me. Then again, I want to tell you, everyone, if you changed your profile picture, especially like, okay, like I don't know why, but sometimes, let me see here. No, not this. Let me see. Yeah, sometimes if you like change the profile picture or something like that, I wouldn't remember. And I just want to tell you guys, you know, I cannot remember everyone that comes by. I can definitely recognize people, especially if you stop by a lot. I'm the one that draw you. Oh, okay. Okay, now I remember. You drew me with glasses. Kind of looks like the person inside. Transparent tube. Yeah, there is a person inside there. They're trapped. Listen, I don't know what this is. This is just like a sketch. Everything here is like a practice. They're not meant to kind of make sense together, but you know. Other than that, though, you know, thank you guys so much for stopping by. I think I'm gonna take a break here, and perhaps we can draw the manga page next time, because tomorrow I'm planning on to come out with a new page, and to let you guys stay tuned and know when you should look forward to the new Webtoons episode. So then again, go definitely check that out. Thank you so much for stopping by. I do not have TikTok, but I do plan on making one of me posting my art on there, but I want to get things settled with YouTube first, and I do have a lot of different things to do in my day-to-day life. So then again, thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you next time. Definitely subscribe, check out the links down in the description below, and stay tuned for tomorrow, because I usually stream on Saturdays and Sundays. I'm probably going to be streaming at the same time as today, so definitely stay tuned. Bye.